Welcome to Studel Financial Arena, where we are ready to begin the second day here at Studel Financial Arena at Bowling Green High School of the Mid-South Conference Tournament. This is the opening round of the men's side. Matthew Hargrove joined again with my broadcasting partner, Taylor Close. So, Taylor, yesterday we got to see the women's play. There were a lot of fun games, especially the opening one between Lindsey Wilson and Freed Hardman. That's off to a great start. The guys, we're going to see a lot of talent today, especially in this first game between, we have Campbellsville taking on Lindsey Wilson.
Yeah, and, two really good teams here in this first matchup. Another 4 and 5 seed. Two very different types of basketball. Lindsey Wilson, they tend to slow the ball down a little bit. They're a very good scoring team. You got to contain the paint. They like to, get a lot of underneath the basket points. They got, 7-foot post player in Lucas Rivero. He's really solid underneath. He cleans up a lot of missed shots, a lot of missed opportunities around the rim. So Campbellsville's got to be ready to box him out. But on the other end, Campbellsville is going to run and gun. They're gonna play fast and they're gonna play furious. So
yeah, really, that's and talking about today, that's probably what we're going to see with these matchups this evening. Is we saw it in the first round of the women's bracket, was the teams that pretty much came out successful were the teams that were rebounding really well and then were just dominant in transition. The last game that we got to see yesterday was Georgetown, and they were unbelievable as far as their transition offense. So you make a really good point about Lindsey Wilson. They need to keep up that tempo. But on the other side, Campbellsville, if they're able to rebound, box out, and do the fundamental things, then they're going to be able to stay in this game. Now, for Lindsey Wilson, they have a plethora of go-to scores. They have Bryce Brown. He was a first-team All-Player, 6'8" senior, 220 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, and he is an unbelievable talent. They also have the freshman of the year who is going to be introduced before the starting lineups or before we go into the tip-off. It's Kenyatta Carbon, and he was second in scoring as just a freshman for the entire conference. So there's a lot of go-to scores for this Lindsey Wilson team that you also have to remember. If you're Campbellsville, you got to box out and you have to guard the perimeter really well.
Yeah, definitely. And Lindsey Wilson's got to do a lot of things right in this ball game. I mean, they're not, you can't play comfortable. Campbellsville can't play comfortable, and I think with two completely different styles of basketball here, I think it's going to be whatever team can alleviate that style of basketball more, and I'm excited to see exactly how this goes.
Yeah, it's just been a great tournament so far, and for Campbellsville, talking about their side now, what do they have to do to win? It was a really up and down season for Campbellsville because they got off to a great start. Their final record was 16-12. Now during the conference they went 3-9, and at home this season they were 12-4. So playing at a neutral site, not really favoring how comfortable they're playing, especially against a run-and-gun Lindsey Wilson team. So for Campbellsville, probably have to take it a little slower and really make sure that you're getting back on defense. And you have to be a little bit extra, cautious on those offensive possessions to make sure that you have time to get back on the defensive side.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And, with two teams like Lindsey Wilson and Campbellsville on this men's side, with the Mid-South Conference having three outstanding basketball teams in, Georgetown and Freed Hardman and Cumberlands. I mean, they're the three outstanding basketball teams. So being the 4th and 5th seed in this conference doesn't mean too much when you're looking at the grand scheme of almost half of your conference games are coming from those three teams alone. They're right in the mix. It's a tough conference.
Yeah, it really is. It doesn't matter if it's come from the women's side or the men's. It's great basketball, and we're excited to be here. We'll be right back. We'll take a break. Tip-off and starting lineups will be coming up right after these messages. It's the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Welcome back to Studio Financial Arena, the home of the 2024 Mid-South Conference Tournament. We are ready to begin the opening round of the men's tournament. The 4-seed Lindsey Wilson taking on the number 5-seed Campbellsville. And before the starting lineups are introduced, the freshman of the year is being announced for Lindsey Wilson. Kenyatta Carbon, he was unbelievable, second in the conference in scoring as just a freshman. Going to be a lot of fun to watch him, and this is kind of a home game for him because he's from Owensboro, Kentucky. So now the starting lineups are being introduced, and let's give you the starting lineup for Campbellsville. They have the junior forward, Noah Gordon from Mount Vernon, Indiana. At number 34 is Chandler Clements, a graduate senior, 6'7", 200 from Clementsville, Tennessee. Wearing number 0, he was a second-team all-conference player this year, senior Jace Wallace. Wearing number 23 is Kobe Penny, the senior guard from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. And then rounding out that starting 5 is number 5, also a graduate senior, 6'4", from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, Darius Harding. As for Lindsey Wilson, they have in their starting lineup one of the best players in the entire conference, wearing number 0. He was a first-team all-conference selection, BRYCE Brown, senior from Atlanta, Georgia. They also have, who we expressed on or hit on during the pregame show, the 7-foot senior, or the 7-foot junior, tied for third in rebounding in the conference, is Lucas Hibero. Going to be a really tough matchup for Lindsey Wilson to go up against him for the entire day, especially when Lindsey Wilson loves to run in transition. Mentioned the freshman of the year, Kenyatta Carbon, who was a first-team all-selection. He is also in that starting lineup, so there's a lot of weapons that Lindsey Wilson can go to. Those are just a few of the guys. Also in that starting line for Lindsey Wilson is Connor Robinson, a guard, junior from Manchester, Kentucky. And then Jordan Mumford, junior at 6'5", from Middletown, Ohio. So, like I said, Taylor, a lot of weapons for Lindsey Wilson this afternoon.
Yeah, and they can all score. So I'm excited to see who steps up for this Lindsey Wilson team and who steps up for this Campbellsville team.
Well, tip is up, and Lindsey Wilson wins it, moving from right to left, and we are officially underway for the 2024 men's basketball tournament in the Mid-South Conference. There's the first-team all-selection, BRYCE Brown, way off of the floater, trying to spin right, and then a bad turnover for Campbellsville. Just miscommunication, two guys trying to bring up the basketball for him.
It's them early game jitters.
Mumford inbounding it, gets it into the hands of the freshman of the year, Carbon. Dribbles far side, gets a double screen. Splits the double team, Euro step in the lane, and that's
nice
a pretty move.
It's tough to guard that.
Well, it's really tough for Campbellsville, too, that double screen, because BRYCE Brown is 6'8", and then that's two guys you got to work around that are over 6'8".
And you can't switch it. You can't put a guard on them.
Miss there from Noah Gordon, the junior, trying to start with his float game on the left hand. They swing it around near side in the corner to Carbon. Fakes baseline, moves to the elbow. Backing down his defender. Finds a cutting Robinson, and it's pickpocketed. Foul is taken by the 7-foot center, Hibero. Not a terrible foul. He noticed the transition from Campbellsville. Didn't want to let him get an easy bucket.
Yeah, I'd take that foul.
Pre-game jitters, was that something that you always struggled with when you were playing, or you were pretty calm to open up a matchup?
I think it just depended on the circumstances of the game. I mean, obviously, I always have a little bit of jitters, but I feel like the jitters always helped me a little bit.
Made you focus a little bit more.
Kind of give me that adrenaline rush that you need.
Just in the early minutes of the Mid-South Conference Tournament, 2-0 lead for Lindsey Wilson over Campbellsville. Penny in the corner. Back to the free throw line. And another foul on Lindsey Wilson. It looks like it was on Jordan Mumford.
Yeah, it looked like he just got a little tripped up there.
His first, team's third.
Campbellsville inbounding it. They get it to Harding. Had a really nice look, just couldn't finish. Campbellsville has had a couple of opportunities already in the early going with some floaters right at the rim, just unable to make it fall. Brown backing down, double team comes. Just off to the right. Missed floater there from Carbon. Into the body, and there's our first free throw opportunities coming up.
A lot of fouls early for Lindsey Wilson.
Well, Kobe Penny has been really aggressive so far. Not bashful at all about driving it inside the lane. We've already seen that a couple of times, and both times he's been fouled. This time shooting. First one is in. Senior guard from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Goes 2 for 2 with a stripe. Here's Carbon. Kicks it out. Top of the key. In the lane.
Oh
denied. Looks like Kobe Penny came out of nowhere for the rejection. Carbon takes it back. He has numbers. Bounce pass underneath. And another block, but this time got too much of the wrist.
Campbellsville foul number 5, Darius Harding.
Darius Harding called for the foul. Harding was really wanting that one to stick.
Yeah, that would have been 2 huge blocks for Lindsey Wilson Campbellsville back to back.
Robinson is a phenomenal free throw shooter despite missing the first one. 80% at the charity stripe this season. Goes 1 for 2 and puts the Blue Raiders back on top. Campbellsville trying to take their first lead of the afternoon. Harding up top. Chase Wallace zigzags in the lane. Too strong in the layup try. Carbon. Bounce pass. Easy foul. Bryce Brown.
Campbellsville foul number 5.
2 quick fouls for Harding.
His second, team's second.
You can see his frustration there. And it's got to be, just a terrible feeling when early on in the tournament, you have everything going for you. You're trying to get off to a great start, and then you pick up those fouls. It just ruins the momentum. That's really for any starter. We saw that yesterday with Cumberland's.
Yeah, I mean, especially so early. It's not even 3 minutes in yet. He hasn't had the chance to even get going yet.
Brown sinks 1 for 2. Lindsey Wilson talking about their offense. They have 3 scores that average double digits during the regular season. Penny, that's a nice looking mid-range jumper.
It's pure.
So Kobe Penny off to a really nice start, ties the game up at 4. Deep 3 from the power forward, over the back. Ibero, and that is his second foul as well, so keep an eye on that for Lindsey Wilson. Barrett Burchett comes into the game for Lindsey Wilson. Taisha Epps also checks in for the Tigers. They swing it in the corner. Wallace Might have gotten fouled, no call. Epps for three. Knocks it down.
It's a good shot by Epps right off the bench. Quick spark.
Well, the bench minutes are always key, especially in these tournament games. Campbellsville getting him from Epps as he races across half court, back to Epps. They feed it inside. Milburn almost had a great move on Brown. Somehow Campbellsville comes out of it with the offensive rebound. Milburn, pump fake, spin move, up and under, can't finish. Penny can't finish. Ball on the floor.
So aggressive.
Penny is doing everything he can to try to get the basketball this afternoon. Full-on dive. And you could hear his elbows and the hardwood just screeching together. Offensive foul.
Campbellsville foul on number 0, Jason Wallace. His first, team's third.
So 7-4 Campbellsville, and Campbellsville, they are the 5 seed. It wouldn't be a huge upset, but Lindsey Wilson is heavy favorites coming into this game, so a great start for the Tigers. Brown at the high post. Hands it off to Robinson. 3 try. Just off to the right for Mumford. Another great opportunity for Campbellsville to extend this early lead. Epps screen to the left. Brown picks him up at half court. Epps gets around him in the corner. Penny, contested 3. It's an air ball. Out of bounds on Campbellsville.
Yeah, I mean, Campbellsville's just playing hard. They're playing good defense. They're playing good offense. You know, they're attacking the rim and attacking the bigs on Lindsey Wilson. Doing all the little things right.
Well, it seems like, too, Taylor, is they're getting a lot of, like you said, they're getting a lot of good looks. And at the end of the day, not turning the ball over, it seems like there's no real panic in them right now. Despite we thought that was possibly going to be something early on in the game, as there is
such a good pass.
Turnover for Lindsey Wilson, but we thought that was going to be something early on in the game because they had that really bad turnover that landed into the bench when 2 guys tried to grab the basketball.
Yep.
14:30 remaining in the first half. Here's Wallace. He was named to the second team all-conference, the only all-conference player for this Campbellsville squad. He drives baseline, picked up on the double team. Mid-range is in. Tyrell Hunt, the junior from Chicago, Illinois, makes it a 9-4 contest. It's all Tigers right now in the early going. Carbon wants Wallace all to himself. He gets a screen. Spins to the left arc. Robinson far side. Now Carbon resets. Splits the double team.
Wow. He loves that middle split.
He really does. That's the second time. I was about to say that's the second time we've seen him do that.
Campbellsville is going to have to adjust and block that middle off.
Penny goes up to the rim.
It's a beautiful take by Penny.
Kobe Penny already with an early 6 points. Penny averaging 12 points per game during the season. 11-6 Tigers. Carbon, another screen. Wallace works around it. A 3 try, it's deep, it doesn't matter.
No hesitation.
Matt Cowrie with a good-looking stroke brings Lindsey Wilson within 2. Penny gets a double screen, goes to the right. Over to Wallace. Inside, backing down, floater, too strong. Brown playing point guard, look at the big fella go. Hop step, finger roll.
I don't think I'd be getting in front of that.
I don't think anybody on Campbellsville was trying to. Everyone just let him go to the basket. Easy finger roll there for Bryce Brown. So after Campbellsville went on a little bit of a roll, Lindsey Wilson has answered back, ties it up at 11. Nice handles from Wallace, and he kisses it off the glass.
Yep, Wallace is going to have to get going.
Well, for Jace Wallace, big reason why he was second team all-conference, is one of the top scorers for this team, averaging 12.2 points per game. Campbellsville has a plethora of guys who can get into the double digits for scoring. Brown, a wild fadeaway. Thought he was fouled. Epps moves it down the right sideline. Up top to Milburn. Hunt now. Drives inside the lane. Dumps it off to Penny. One dribble. Can't spin it in. A beautiful vision, like you said, Taylor, from Hunt.
Oh, that's a beautiful pass, too. A lot of good court vision going on with these two teams.
Well, Milburn thought he had a nasty block, but it's called a foul. Media timeout taken. We're almost halfway through the first half. Pretty good action in the opening game of the men's tournament, 13-11 Campbellsville. When we return, this is the Mid-South Conference tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. $11:15 remaining in this number 4 and number 5 matchup between Campbellsville and Lindsey Wilson. Lindsey Wilson at the free throw line after a vicious almost block on the Campbellsville side from Jay Milburn, the sophomore at 6'8". I haven't really noticed a size advantage, even though Lindsey Wilson, they stack up pretty well as far as the starting lineup, but Campbellsville's been able to work around it for the most part. Robinson misses the first.
Was there a technical?
And that's what, maybe a technical on Milburn after maybe arguing the call. So Robinson hits 1 of 2 on the technical free throws.
In for Lindsey Wilson, number 2, Jordan Mumford.
It seemed like it was just going into immediate timeout. Wasn't a big technical foul call.
Maybe they called it intentional. Maybe it wasn't even a technical.
Lindsey Wilson back with it. Brown gets it into the hands of Rodney Lewis, and they go through their play. Near side for Lewis. 5 on the shot clock. Brown races to the bucket, and he's fouled.
I like that defense by Campbellsville.
Well, head coach Brent Vernon of Campbellsville, he enjoyed it as well, having a couple of words for the referee.
That's solid D.
Lindsey Wilson, they inbound it. Shot clock resets to 20. It doesn't matter. 2-on-1 fast break. Wallace off to Harding, and he gets the friendly touch.
It's good offense, good transition offense. Perfect 2-on-1 situation.
Campbellsville looks really solid offensively, not making a ton of mistakes, and they still don't have a lot of turnovers or are not really turning the ball over early. Bryce Brown trying to show off his muscle, and he traveled. It's been an up-and-down start for Bryce Brown. It seems like he's trying to force himself into the action a little too much, which, it makes sense. He's first-team all-selection, so he knows that he has to have a big game, but really not letting the game come to him in the early going, it seems like.
Yeah, I agree. If maybe if he just posts up on the block and waits for that pass to come into him and do a little one-on-one on the block, it might make his scoring options a little bit easier for him.
Counting in one.
Huge and one.
Chandler Clements extending the lead to 5, and he'll go to the free throw line. Clements this season averaging 9.3 points per game. Shot 32.6% from downtown. Overall, his field goal percentage, really reliable shooter at 48.0%. And he converts on the three-point play. 6-point lead now for the Tigers, almost halfway through, or exactly halfway through the first half. Brown near side, Cowrie. Brown again. They're double teaming him right when he gets to that elbow. Just off on the mid-range jumper from Lewis.
It's a good look for Lewis. I mean, I take that 10 times. Wow.
The teardrop from Penny and a timeout, Lindsey Wilson.
Penny's doing everything for them right now.
The energy, everything. You have to love it. He's making shots. 20-12, Campbellsville, 9:44 remaining in the first half. We'll be right back. It's the Mid-South Conference Tournament presented by Wendy's and Pinnacle Financial on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Well, the Campbellsville Tigers are playing really well to begin this game against Lindsey Wilson as the 5 seed going up against the number 4 seed Blue Raiders. Matthew Hargrove here, joined alongside Taylor Close for the opening game of the men's 2024 Mid-South Conference Tournament. They just brought in Lindsey Wilson. They just brought in the freshman of the year, Kenyatta Carbon, and immediately he goes into the action trying to get fouled, and he does. So he'll head to the free throw line and shoot 2.
Yeah, he's so scrappy. I mean, he comes in looking to attack. He wants to get downhill to the rim, and he's very successful at it. He's got a mentality to do so, and it works for him.
Well, Carbon is really good, and we've already seen it at splitting those screens, getting inside the lane, and finishing. He shot 54.6% during 54.1% during the year. He was the leading scorer for Lindsey Wilson. And, we saw some really talented freshmen yesterday in the women's tournament. Talk about getting a chance to see him for another 3 years.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Definitely going to be in the running of possibly winning a Conference Player of the Year trophy when it's all said and done for him. Brings the Blue Raiders within 6. Wallace, crossover, gets a screen to the right. Far side, no hesitation on the 3, cashes it in.
That was just a textbook three-pointer. Step in, no hesitation, perfect form.
Cameron Willis making it look really easy, and Campbellsville is up by 9 points now. Swinging around the perimeter. They try to get Isaac Weaver on a cut baseline. They get it to Robinson. Tough mid-range jumper. That is nasty.
Yeah, he is yet to really, get a lot of shots up this half, and he can score. I mean, all 3 levels, he can get to the rim. He can shoot the pull-up. He can shoot the 3. So if he can get going, it can be really, really beneficial for this Lindsey Wilson offense.
It's really just a matter of him getting to his spot. Once he does, then you're at his mercy. Floater from the big fella, just off to the right. Noah Gordon on that last floater try. Carbon slows it down, gets a screen from Weaver, makes a cut in the paint, step back long 2 is way off. Robinson has the rebound and the putback. So Connor Robinson putting Lindsey Wilson on his back the last couple of possessions for the Blue Raiders. Wallace, he's been quiet for being an all-conference player so far for Campbellsville. Willis in the corner. To the paint, pull up. Off the side of the backboard. Robinson brings it up. Brown in the corner, a deep three. A little too strong there from Bryce Brown. Just is still not looking like himself to open up this game.
Yeah, I mean, I really like to see him getting under the basket and posting up instead of catching it around the perimeter a little bit. See if that helps him out a little bit. Get something going.
Yeah, it's 6'8". There's been a lot of moments where it seems like Brown has been, trying to hit those perimeter shots, or, like you said, not really backing down and using that size that he has.
Correction 8.
So Wallace was fouled, headed to the free throw line now. Chase Wallace, a senior, 6'6", 180 from Lexington, Kentucky. Attended Bourbon County High School.
Lindsey Wilson, number 10, Joaquin Lewis.
Second try, 2 for 2 at the line for Chase Wallace. 25-18. Campbellsville is still in control of this basketball game with about 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Brown near side to Robinson. Robinson thought about a tray ball. Inside, here's that back down Taylor.
He just looks frazzled.
Well, Campbellsville too. It seems like they're doing a really nice job. They're immediately going over on the double team for him.
I mean, third time around, playing the team this time of year, you're gonna make adjustments.
And we kept talking about that yesterday. How third time around, the strengths, the weaknesses. It's just a matter of execution. And Brown is called for the offensive foul, trying to get into a position where he could catch the basketball and go to the rim, and through that front shoulder or elbow. Wallace across the logo, into the hands of Penny. He has been electric in this first half. So fun to watch. Back to Wallace. Screen on the left side. Goes into his bag. Near side, Penny for three. Rolls in and out. Here comes the freshman of the year. Carbon. Pick and roll with Brown. Out to Weaver. Corner pass to Robinson. Weaver a deep three. Too strong. Campbellsville, it seems like they're doing a really nice job of getting around these big screens, though, defensively.
Oh, nice rim run.
Jay Milburn with the easy deuce. Campbellsville back up by 9 with 6 minutes remaining. Tigers looking for a statement win to open up the tournament. Brown at the top of the key, near side to Lewis. Brown follows with a screen for him. There's that double team again. Now Brown goes back. Corner pass, Weaver, 3-ball again. He's 0 for 2. Offensive
nice
rebound.
Board, yep.
Now Lewis looks back to his head coach, Chris Starks, for the play call. Starks in his 4th season at Lindsey Wilson. A wide-open mid-range jumper, and it rattles in and out.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more wide open than he expected to be off that.
A spin move from Penny with the left hand. That's disgusting. It is the Kobe Penny Show at Studel Financial Arena. 5:19 remaining in the first half. Campbellsville up 29-18 on Lindsey Wilson. We'll be right back. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Matthew Hargrove here, joined alongside my broadcasting partner Taylor Close. Campbellsville with a 29-18 lead over Lindsey Wilson. Taylor, what have you really liked from the Tigers up to this point?
They're playing their game. I mean, we talked about it earlier, and I said, Campbellsville loves to run and gun. They love to, play fast pace, and that's exactly what they're doing. And they're taking Lindsey Wilson right out of their, out of their style of play, and they're executing their game plan very, very well. And if they continue to do so, Campbellsville is going to be very happy at the end of this game, I think.
A win would be very satisfying for the Tigers, you would have to imagine. Trying to move on to the semifinals of this tournament. Almost got the and one on the finish from the point guard, Lewis, who's getting a lot of minutes in that backup point guard position.
Number 23, Kobe Penny, his second, team's seventh.
Lewis a little bit earlier as another timeout is taken. We'll keep it here. Lewis a little bit earlier was kind of, it's really how the game has gone for Lindsey Wilson. He had a chance at the free throw line to shoot a mid-range jumper. There was some hesitation. He ended up missing it, but it's just that flow that the Blue Raiders have not had so far in this game, unlike Campbellsville, where there has been no hesitation in their shots. They've been very comfortable, whether it be inside the paint or outside.
Yeah, and I mean, basketball is a game of, it's a game of flowing. If you're not flowing well, it's going to be a struggle, and everything that Lindsey Wilson's doing right now, it just looks hesitant. I mean, it's just not Lindsey Wilson basketball, and hopefully that this media timeout right now is, they're making some adjustments and they're figuring it out.
Well, Campbellsville too has been very aggressive when playing in the paint, and a little bit of that has to do with Lindsey Wilson, star center, and Habero fouling or getting a couple of quick fouls to open up this half. So we haven't gotten to see Habero play the majority of the first half, and that's a 7-footer. He's one of the biggest guys in the entire conference, and not having him out there defensively really puts a damper on what the Blue Raiders are trying to do, especially defensively in this game.
Well, for sure, it definitely pushes them out, too. I mean, they're getting a lot of easy baskets at the rim right now, where, as if Habero's inside the paint, who knows? I mean, it's just not as easy.
To go along with Bryce Brown's 6'8" presence, yeah, it's just not going to be it's not going to be easy, and you're not going to see them try that a lot. So here's Lewis at the free throw line, sinks the first. Rodney Lewis, a 6'1" senior point guard from Douglasville, Georgia. That one went about halfway in and out. That's just how it's gone for the Blue Raiders so far. 29-19. We're seeing now the first time that Lindsey Wilson has gone into really a full court pressure. Willis looking for a cutter. Up top to Wallace. Contested three, and he rattles it in.
Yep, and I mean, that's dangerous. Wallace hasn't really gotten going yet, and Campbellsville's playing really, really good as a team right now. So
everybody really has stepped up their game for Campbellsville. Weaver on the near side. Crossover, baseline, up top. Lewis now. Carbon. Robinson, deep one from behind the line. Wallace has the board. He clears it out. 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Tigers with a 13-point lead on the number 4 seed, the Blue Raiders. Wallace spins away. Willis is fouled. He was hit on the wrist trying to go up for the elbow jumper.
For sure.
Lindsey Wilson fouled on number 10, Rodney Lewis, his first.
Willis really known for, on this Campbellsville team, at being a great three-point shooter coming off the bench. Already seen him knock down one earlier in this game. Willis this season from three-point land shooting 35.2%, so pretty reliable from beyond the perimeter. 33-19 now for the Tigers. Lewis double teamed and a bad turnover. Epps has it. Slows it down to the right arc. Picks up his dribble. In the corner, Willis just missed it. Offensive rebound. And the putback's not there. That hit every part of the rim.
Just some careless turnovers for Lindsey Wilson right now. I mean, they're all out of sorts. They're just not Lindsey Wilson right now. And I don't know. I think that with a game this important on the line, you got to figure it out sooner rather than later.
Wallace into the body.
Pure.
Nasty finish from Wallace, and another timeout. Lindsey Wilson has no answer right now for this Campbellsville offense or their defense. 35-19, almost through the first half. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Just out of the timeout, and Lindsey Wilson has had a nightmare start to this game. They're already trailing Campbellsville 35-19. Carbon walks it up at the top of the key. Needed that one, unable to get it. Retry there from Barrett Burchett.
He might have got away with the travel there.
Wallace slows it down. Almost a 20-point lead for Campbellsville. Hunt. Elbow to Gordon. Puts his elbows up and is able to finish.
Campbellsville is playing so well across the board. I mean, all 5 people on the court are playing just well for Campbellsville.
Everything's just falling. It doesn't matter where they're shooting it. Bryce Brown almost turned it over. He's back into the game. And Lindsey Wilson wants another timeout. They just can't get it together. Officially 2 minutes remaining. And really, this is the definition for Campbellsville of defense leading to offense. The last couple of possessions they've had some really nice steals, and that makes them a lot more confident on the offensive side and getting a lot of good looks.
Yeah, I mean, Campbellsville is playing top three team in the conference basketball right now. I mean, they're playing so good. It's the perfect time of the year to be playing this good as a team, especially, you know, coming in first round of the conference tournament. So many what ifs, so many what ifs in this game, you know. And afterwards, you don't want to be the one looking back saying, what if we could have won the game? I mean, no. And Campbellsville is playing like this is their last game. So Lindsey Wilson's got to just figure it out. I mean, they got to make some adjustments. They got to get going. They got to find their rhythm.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that the energy on the Campbellsville bench is a little bit more into it than Lindsey Wilson. Now, that's easier said than done because, you know, when you're up by almost 20 points, yeah, the energy is going to be a little bit more high. But Lindsey Wilson, they got to find their spark from somewhere. Maybe he'll be their freshman of the year. Kenyatta Carbon in the corner to Burchett. Cowrie over to Carbon, far side. There's that double team split, dumps it off. Foul was on the floor. It's so quick. You know, I mean, you have to be you have to be like the Flash to do what he is doing just consistently, splitting those double teams. So now Lindsey Wilson's in the bonus. And Carbon shooting free throws.
Correction, foul on number 12, Noah Gordon, his first.
First foul on Noah Gordon for the afternoon. First one is in.
Down to Carbon at the line.
Carbon already has shown off his great athleticism and has shown off in this game why he was the freshman of the year.
Yeah, Carbon's doing what he can to keep Lindsey Wilson in this game, but it's going to take more than him. I mean, you know, Campbell's was playing five people playing just as well together on the court. He's got to have some help, you know.
Well, you have to assume that Bryce Brown has got to get his stuff together for the Blue Raiders. Wallace hop step, a little too short, and a off-ball foul called on the Tigers.
Foul number 12, Noah Gordon, his second.
Chandler Clements back into the game. Gordon heads to the bench. And that was a costly foul because now it puts Lindsey Wilson back at the free throw line.
Bryce Brown.
Yeah, Lindsey Wilson's got to take, you know, advantage of these free throws that they're getting right now, trying to close this gap going into halftime.
Might see them play a little bit more aggressive in these final minute and 27 seconds. Brown misses the free throw. And now Wallace takes his time, bringing it across half court. Willis near side. Wallace in the corner. Willis for three. Skids off the rim. Offensive rebound. Oh, and a travel. It looks like, I believe it was Brown who was on. He pulled the chair from underneath
he
him.
had to kind of slide his feet.
Hunt thought that he was going to have to go in there and muscle his way, and then Brown just at the last second pulled himself away from the action. Carbon in the corner. Robinson, no hesitation in the lane. Floater is good. He's been one of the low bright spots for the Blue Raiders this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been efficient. He hasn't shot the ball a ton, but when he has, they've been good shots, and he's made them.
16-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Epps at the elbow. Moves it back out. Over to Wallace. 10 to shoot. Off the backboard and in. Wallace is very, very comfortable with going with the bank shot. He's done that twice already. And now Lindsey Wilson holding for the final shot. What a first half of the Campbellsville Tigers. Carbon, 4 seconds. Inside,
Nice pass.
Burchett, one dribble, pump fake, just before the buzzer.
Basket's good.
They needed it, and that's how we go into the locker room. And now the referees are getting together. And they also say that there was a foul, a shooting foul. So now Burchett has a chance to convert the three-point play. They put 0.3 seconds on the clock. Free throws missed. And officially, we head into the locker room. Campbellsville with a dominant performance. They're up 14 on the number 4 seed, Lindsey Wilson. 39-25 is your score. We'll be right back in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament presented by Pinnacle Financial, Wendy's, and Qdoba Mexican Eats on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Welcome back to the 2024 Mid-South Conference Tournament. This is the opening round of the men's tournament. Matthew Argrevier joined alongside Taylor Close. We have officially made it to the second half of our first game this afternoon between the Campbellsville Tigers and the number 4 seed Lindsey Wilson. Campbellsville, the number 5 seed, and the winner of this game will play the number 1 seed tomorrow. Now, Taylor, this game has kind of shocked us because of how much Campbellsville has not only the lead is shocking us, but it's just pure domination. Lindsey Wilson has had no form of identity, and they've had no rhythm to this game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to give credit to Campbellsville where it's due. They are playing absolutely amazing, great team basketball, being coached very well. So definitely you have to give them credit where it's due because they're doing a great job in executing their game plan perfectly. But also, I mean, yeah, Lindsey Wilson is just playing out of sorts. They're just not doing what they typically do. I mean, obviously, Hibero went out very early in that first half, which hurt them drastically, especially around the rim. But even then, there's so many other people on this team, on this Lindsey Wilson team, who are so good and can, take over a game at any point. I just haven't seen it yet. And 14 points for Lindsey Wilson, it's so doable. But at the same time, they cannot wait. They have to start this half, with their foot on the gas, ready to rock and roll, because if not, Campbellsville is going to just continue to take advantage.
Well, something that really hurt Lindsey Wilson in the first half was their starting center, Lucas Hibero, got into some early foul trouble. He picked up 2 fouls within the first 5 minutes of the game, so he really couldn't play. He didn't play for the rest of the first half, so Lindsey Wilson is being really cautious with him, head coach Chris Starks, and like we mentioned, his 4th season as a Blue Raider. But taking a look at the stats, it's so different. Campbellsville is really good from the field, 48.4, when Lindsey Wilson is just shooting 33.3. And then you talk about shooting it from downtown. Campbellsville 3 of 7, Lindsey Wilson just 1 of 8. So something has to change for Lindsey Wilson, and it has to be with making some shots from behind the arc.
And Lindsey Wilson just needs, some more penetration. Carbon was doing really, really, really good at that at the beginning of the first half, penetrating that middle of the paint, and dishing it out to the shooters. When you're just passing around the perimeter, the percentages just go down. It goes way down.
Well, Campbellsville, their defense was really good, very effective. They were able to hold the first-team all-conference player, Bryce Brown, at just 3 points. He also has 2 fouls, so a little bit of trouble if he picks one up here early. And we are underway for the second half. Gordon into the body of Hibero. Floater. Oh, look at that. Kobe Penny is right back where he left off. He was phenomenal in the first half. Now 12 points in the game for Kobe Penny after 10 in the first. Carbon looking inside. There's Hibero, who's back into the contest. Haven't seen him for what has felt like years. Can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound. Tap up in the air. Off the fingertips of Kobe Penny.
Yeah.
But there's Bryce Brown again. He just had 2 good looks, and still, he just hasn't had it today.
Yeah, I know he's got to be getting frustrated. I know he's wanting some calls underneath, but he's got to finish. He's got to finish those. 3 by Brown.
There's another miss for Brown, who's now 1 for 9 for the field. Kobe Penny,
nice.
Big-time block from the freshman of the year, Carbon.
It's good defense by Carbon.
It's good defense considering that it feels like any time Penny has been in the paint, he has been able to connect on a shot. Harding, free throw line pass to Gordon, hesitates into the body of Hibero. Great footwork, just can't get it into the basket.
Good defense by Hibero, too, knowing his recognition, he can't get another foul. He cannot afford to pick up an early third.
Hibero, basically a bear hug that time from Gordon, an easy foul call. But we talked about how it really hurt Lindsey Wilson defensively with Hibero being out, and seeing how Campbellsville, they were easily able to get a lot of shots and good looks inside the paint. Hibero kicks it out. Brown at the block. And that is what he is so good at doing, Bryce Brown. If he's able to do that consistently in the second half, Lindsey Wilson is going to have a chance for a comeback.
And that's why it's so important for Ribeiro to stay in the game. That way, when Ribeiro's out, it allows the post to be able to double Brown. With Ribeiro in, they have to respect and play one-on-one with Brown and Ribeiro.
Well, Kobe Penny just had another outstanding play, dumping it off to Wallace for the easy deuce. Carbon splits the screen. Ribeiro throws it down.
That's some good offense right there.
We've seen some really nice passing at the guard position. Just saw that last one from Penny and Carbon. Once he splits the double team, he's really able to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Wallace with the right hand.
The middle of that Campbellsville defense is just so susceptible.
Robinson brings it up into the hands. Brown counted at one. Maybe this was where Lindsey Wilson makes their run. So Bryce Brown, let's see if he can finally get it together. He's just 3 for 11 after making that 2. The numbers for Bryce Brown during the season as far as his field goal percentage, 53.1. So obviously he's off, and that's going to be off for any great player.
One thing
Connects on the
about
free
Bruce
throw.
Brown, though, is Bryce Brown, he is going to continue to shoot the ball. So if he's in on a slump, he'll get his way out of it.
He would love to play like Bruce Brown, though,
I know,
in
right?
this game. Love to get to that caliber here in the second half. Clements stalled at the free throw line, hands it off to Wallace, shoots baseline, and he's fouled going up to the rack. We continue to talk about it, but Campbellsville, just the way they've been able to play without Jace Wallace, Wallace not needing to do everything, but they're still really comfortable. And Wallace has made his moments where he'll take it himself, trying to get a bucket, but it's not right now the number one thing that they have to do to go and win this game.
Yeah, and they know Kobe Penny's playing really, really well, and Campbellsville's doing a very good job of acknowledging that as well as, utilizing that.
A really quiet game for Jace Wallace. He's up to 15 points. He is the leading scorer for Campbellsville. Silent killer, like we discussed yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed 15, that's for sure.
Carbon in the corner. Robinson spins. Mid-range jumper. It's pure. Connor Robinson has really stepped up. He's up to 10 points. First player to get in double figures this afternoon for Lindsey Wilson. Clements at the left arc. Almost had a wide open cutter. Harding is hacked by Ribeiro, and that is now his third foul, and you can see his frustration. He was getting on to the referee, but it seemed like that was a pretty obvious call.
Yeah, Ribeiro's just got to be smart. He's got to know the situation. Stand straight up. We're not going to finish over you.
Maybe some frustration behind that as well, just knowing that it's his third foul and we're still in the early minutes of the second half. Harding knocks down the first. Off on the second. Ribeiro pulls it in. Also with Lindsey Wilson down by 12 and about 16 and a half minutes remaining. Going to see a lot more minutes from their starters. Not going to go to the bench really often. Brown, wild pass into the hands of Carbon. Screen to the right side. Robinson to the elbow, and he's pickpocketed. Hunt has it. Goes up into the body of Brown. He just missed it. Kobe Penny's there for the putback, and he just missed it.
Kobe Penny just continuing to just play so well on both ends of the floor, doing a little bit of everything for this Campbellsville's team.
Yeah, he really is all over the place. He's shown his ability to shoot the three ball, the rebounding. We saw him give his best Superman impersonation, wailing out for a basketball early on in the game. Rolls in the first one. So Penny at 13 points. But it's really the efficiency from the top two scorers that has been the difference for Campbellsville. Wallace is 5 for 8. Penny's 5 for 9. Timeout taken. We'll take a timeout as well. Campbellsville still with a really good lead over Lindsey Wilson. 48-34, 16:06 remaining. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Well, the dynamic duo of Jace Wallace and Kobe Penny has lifted Campbellsville to a 48-34 lead right now over Lindsey Wilson with 16:06 remaining. Campbellsville, they've just been so dominant offensively, and this has been one of their better defensive games of the entire season.
Yeah, just so much confidence from them, too. And, you know, Kobe Penny and Wallace, 29 is that how, yeah, 29 of their 48 points. That's a lot. That's a big chunk of Campbellsville's points. So I mean, they're doing a lot of big things. My concern is, Lindsey Wilson might go on a run. I'm just not convinced that they're going to stop Kobe Penny or Jace Wallace enough possessions in a row to come back.
That's the thing is Campbellsville, they haven't shown any, and like you said, they haven't shown a run where they could possibly get cold. And also, too, they're getting to the free throw line. They're hitting their free throws for the most part. Wallace is 4 for 4. Penny's 4 for 4. Lindsey Wilson almost had a really bad turnover. They get it back. 3 try. And that's just not the shot that they want right now is a 3 from Bryce Brown. Penny out. Had a good look at a wide open 3, but Harding coughed it up. Wallace spins. And he's denied by Burgett. That is tremendous defense. Now they have numbers.
It's beautiful transition.
Bryce Brown with 4 points here in the second half in the last couple of minutes. Brings it within 12. Wallace. Oh, beautiful feed. And referees count the bucket because Habero, he dragged his hand on the net, moved the goal, so this is a chance for a 3-point play for Chandler Clements.
Fouls on number 34, Lucas Rivera, his 4th, team's 4th.
And that is also a foul on Habero, so 1 more and he's out of the game. And there's 15 minutes remaining still in this second half. Clements hits it. And head coach Chris Starks he still feels good with Habero being out there. I have to imagine for Campbellsville they're going to be attacking him a lot on offense, though.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. If you're Campbellsville, you're going to do anything you can right now to get that 5th foul out of Habero.
51-38 after the bucket from Lindsey Wilson. Clements, near side Harding, passes up a 3. Charges in the lane. Another foul and another and 1. They call it on Burchett. Habero was around the action, so he had to wait and see if he was officially fouled out.
Yeah, that would have been a huge loss for Lindsey Wilson to lose Habero this early.
So now Harding at the line. Referee is discussing something in the scores table. Campbellsville has been so solid at when deciding to drive inside the paint, and they've been able to finish. There's, the last couple of times have been and one opportunities, but they had a couple too in the first half. Harding converts. 54-38. A stunning game up to this point. Carbon readjust. He lost it. Stolen away. Hunt to the free throw line. To Penny. Corner pass. Harding off balance three. High off the back iron. And an offensive foul on Tyrell Hunt.
Whatever happens for these two teams, this game and moving forward in the conference tournament, I hope one, if not both of these teams get, a berth to the national tournament, because they're make a run in the tournament type of teams. They can make a run in the postseason. They're very, very solid, and just the Mid-South Conference is just so good. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they end up.
Yeah, for Lindsey Wilson, and we've been saying it all day, this is not your typical Lindsey Wilson team. They haven't played like this all season. Tees up a wide-open three, and it skids off the rim. The struggles continue for Bryce Brown. Wallace on the other side can't finish. Brown, full steam ahead. Bounce pass, stolen away by Epps, and then a foul at the other end. On Bryce Brown. And that is Bryce Brown's third foul now, so he has to be very cautious of that as well.
Yeah, and that third foul was a frustration foul. So, now you really have to be smart if you want to stay on the floor.
He's now 5 of 15, 0 of 5 from 3. Stunning numbers for the first team selection. Wallace to Epps. Hunt goes to work baseline. Backing down his defender. That's a tough shot. Almost got the roll on it. Goes out of bounds off of Lindsey Wilson. Well, for Lindsey Wilson, the last couple of possessions defensively have looked pretty good. A couple of tough shots from Campbellsville. Gordon hands it off to Epps. Far side to Willis, who hit a three back in the first half. Hunt to Willis for the second one. Off to the left. Lewis brings it up. Off to Burchett. Brown makes a move. Too strong, and he's fouled from behind by Gordon.
Yeah, Brown just looking to attack every single time he catches the ball. So if he could just convert on just a few more of these shots that he's taking, it might be a different ball game.
Yeah, that's where Bruce Brown said it again. Bryce Brown's bread and butter is, and chucking up 5 threes, even though they were possibly some of them really good looks, is not what you're trying to get at if you're the Blue Raiders. Brown this season just 30.8% from that area. So even if he has a wide open three the rest of the way, you probably just say, hey, storm inside the paint, try to get fouled like he did right there.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100% with that, especially when he's over a 50%, typically over a 50% shooter from inside the three.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, too, is he's so much more efficient in that area. 54-40, Lindsey Wilson still hanging in. Epps gets it into Clements. Caught by Brown. Fakes his shoulders. Double team comes. Stolen from behind. That is great defense from Mumford. Mumford Euro step in the lane. Can't hit it. Gets his own rebound. And moves it off the glass. Jordan Mumford, a really quiet first half. Maybe he'll be a little bit of a spark for Lindsey Wilson in the second. Clemens. Off to Penny. Penny's got to get it going. Spin move. Fouled. And one. There he goes. Kobe Penny.
Penny
is
is
unbelievable.
Just so confident right now. He is doing everything right.
Another timeout taken. Right when Lindsey Wilson was starting to get something going their way, Kobe Penny happens. We'll be right back. 11:52 remaining in this one. Campbellsville up 14. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Matthew Argrove here, joined alongside Taylor Close. 11:52 remaining in the second half. Campbellsville has been sensational, doing it offensively, defensively, and Kobe Penny has a lot to say with the Tigers possibly moving on to the semifinal round.
Yeah, Kobe Penny's doing it all. And, you know, if he plays like this throughout the rest of the conference tournament, they might not be, they might not be done anytime soon.
It would be another huge upset if they're able to take down the number 1 seed in the Final Four, which will be played tomorrow. Penny knocks down the free throw. That converts the three-point play. Jace Wallace comes back into the game. That's something, too, is Campbellsville, even though Wallace has obviously been scoring at a high rate this afternoon, they still just have not needed Wallace for most of the time. Been able to live without him when he goes to the bench. Brown, near side of Mumford. He'll take it in like a running back, and he misses the layup. Foul was called, so Mumford headed to the free throw line and shooting 2.
Fouls on number 23, Kobe Penny, his third, team's foul.
Jordan Mumford, a 6'5 junior from Middletown, Ohio, attended Middletown High School. Started this game for Lindsey Wilson. Knocks down the first one. Mumford, the 4th leading scorer for the Blue Raiders, averaging 9.4 points per game this season. Makes both those free throws look effortless, 2 for 2. Here's Wallace. Free throw line to Clemens. Back up top. Spins. Clemens, pump fake. Wallace again. Throws it away. Just too far out of the reach of Epps.
It's a good thought, though. That's the right read. Just got to make a little bit of a better pass.
If that was at his chest, Epps, who's already hit a contested 3 today in the first half, it would have been a really good look. Lindsey Wilson can make it a 10-point game with the 3. The 3 ball has been a huge struggle for them, though.
Beautiful baseline drive and dunk by Mumford.
Yeah, Mumford has been a big spark plug for the Blue Raiders. Hunt. 15-footer. Wallace quiets Lindsey Wilson. Big time shot from Wallace. We'll keep it here. 10:34 remaining in the second half. That has just been really the story. Lindsey Wilson, they get something huge to go their way, and then Campbellsville answers right back.
Yeah, I mean, that's like what we were talking about before, though. I mean, Lindsey Wilson can score a lot. They've, made a lot of improvements in the second half, but they just haven't been able to go on a strong, long run against Campbellsville, and honestly, that's what it's going to take with the deficit, being in double digits, and has been consistently since, middle of first half.
Well, you would have to assume that Lindsey Wilson needs to knock down some threes. They've hit just one. They're 1 of 11. Haven't been great at the free throw line either, 13 of 19. Back to a 13-point lead for Campbellsville. Burchett races down the floor to inbound it to the senior point guard, Lewis. Gets a screen from Brown. Burchett, a deep three. Just off to the left.
There hasn't been very many friendly rolls, has there?
No, I thought that one was eventually going to fall. It hung so far up there. Looks like it had a good chance. Lindsey Wilson now in a zone defense. 2-3 with Bryce Brown in the middle. And that is a devastating three from Darius Harding.
Devastating is the word.
62-46. Tigers about 10 minutes away from moving on to the semifinals.
Oh my gosh.
Carbon, electric. He is one of the best ball handlers that we have seen for the entire weekend.
So good.
So crafty. He's going to be a special player. Pretty much unfair for the conference when he becomes a junior and a senior.
No kidding.
He already is. Harding again. Kicks it out. Wide open three for Wallace. Bryce Brown clears it. Lewis behind the back. Another three try for Pratchett. This time he cans it.
They needed that. They got to get another stop.
Or Burchett. I said Pratchett, excuse me. Nevertheless, it's a three-pointer. 62-51, a turnover. Wallace with his hands up, looking at his team, trying to get him to calm down.
If you can if you can convert another basket here and make it single digits, that is big time.
Then we have a ball game. They got to get it though. That's the key. Lewis, double team underneath. They had a wide open look.
Beautiful.
Still able
and
to finish.
one.
Bryce Brown
His third, team's sixth.
has a chance to cut the deficit to 8. Lindsey Wilson on the comeback trail with 8:39 remaining the second half. They were down 14 going into this half. Wallace to Harding. Wallace makes a move to the cup. There's not a friendly roll, but Hunt cleans it up.
It's good out board.
Hunt has been another one of those players that has been everywhere for Campbellsville.
He has.
Doing
He's done
the
a
little
lot of
stuff.
small things. Yep.
Carbon Euro step. Wow.
Just so good. Just so good.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Freshman of the year, caliber stuff. Both these teams answering each other back and forth as we get down to the final minutes of regulation. Wallace, Clements for three. Off to the left. Not a strong shot there for Campbellsville. This to bring it within maybe 6 or 5, depending on the shot. Lewis inside. Brown got
Good
the floor again.
offense.
Timeout Tigers.
Campbellsville.
7:18 to go. We got a new ball game. We'll be right back. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Well, things look a lot different than what they did probably 5 minutes ago. Campbellsville now with just a 6-point lead over Lindsey Wilson, 64-58, with 7:18 remaining in the second half. Taylor, what is Lindsey Wilson doing a lot better of in this, or maybe really the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, I mean they're playing their ball game. You know, they've turned it around. They've dictated what Campbellsville's doing. They've gotten stops on defense, and they're converting on offense. It's exactly what they've needed to do, and you know now there's a lot of time left and not a huge gap between the numbers. So
Campbellsville has been unable to buy a bucket here recently. That's never been a problem for them the majority of the game. Wallace at the left arc. The go-to score for the Tigers. Harding makes a beeline for the basket. Readjust in the air ball. Lewis has it. In the corner, Bryce Brown. And now they reset. You know, Bryce Brown was wanting to make something happen there, but he kicked it out to Lewis. Back into the hands of Lewis. Gets a screen, 5 on the shot clock. Brown, a block. He finished.
Basket's good. BRYCE.
And now this free throw can bring them within a one-possession game.
such a quick turnaround, so good by Lindsey Wilson to stay composed, get their heads in it together, and you know play some really good basketball down the stretch.
It hasn't been a one-possession game since the first 5 minutes of the first half. Brown with a deep breath. Missed it.
Free throws are hurting Lindsey Wilson, though, you know, as a whole. Coming now that it's only a 4-point game, I mean, you got to hit them.
Well, they missed 7 of them today. They hit about half of those. It's a tie game. Epps on the near side. Harding almost took a long three. Hurt at the baseline. Foul. Mumford call for the reach.
Lindsey Wilson fouled at number 2.
And now free throws.
Teams 8.
Could have gone either way, but still can't make that mistake,
Tyrell Hunt at the line.
especially when somebody has their back to the basket like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially at this point in the game, either. When it's, you know, you've came so close. Now you're potentially down 6 just like that again.
Well, Tyrell Hunt has been doing it all for Campbellsville in this one. And he continues to strive 2 for 2 with the charity stripe. Final 6 minutes in the second half. Far side of Mumford. Goes to the left. Bounce pass is stolen away by Epps. Wallace cross court. Harding is fouled. I believe it was Mumford who was called for the foul.
Fouls on number 0.
Nevertheless, timeout's taken. Campbellsville up 6, 5:41 remaining. We'll be right back. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament presented by Signs Express, Pinnacle Financial, and Wendy's. This is the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. The Tigers with a 66-60 lead over the Blue Raiders. But Lindsey Wilson has made an outstanding comeback here in the second half. It's been a lot of fun to watch. They've just done a really nice job of finding a lot of open looks inside, and that's really the brunt of how this comeback has happened for them.
Yeah, played some really good basketball down the stretch. You know, Chris Starks has really got them in a good place. Ran some really good offense down the stretch as well, too. You know, convert some easy baskets. So keep doing what they're doing. They're not out of it yet.
Well, Darius Harding at the free throw line. He was fouled right before the timeout was taken. And he goes 1 for 2. Here's Lewis. Up top to Brown. Carbon splits the double team again. Readjust. He almost spun it in.
I thought he was making that. I thought that was about to be another and one, and, you know, I was about to ask how he does it.
There's just no stopping that move. He's just too quick.
So good at that.
And it's not like Campbellsville has really played it bad. They've been able to readjust and get in front of him. He's just way too shifty. So Carbon heads to the free throw line. Now Carbon, he has been pretty much not shut down. He hasn't shot it bad, but hasn't had a lot of field goal opportunities. He had 7 in this game. He's 4 of 7. He's now 5 of 5 at the free throw line, but it's the leading scorer for Lindsey Wilson. You got to find ways to get him open looks, especially now that the game is so close.
Yeah, you got to. It's just court awareness too. You got to know your scorers, know who's got, you know, the hot hand, who's doing well against who, and you got to you know, really push for that down the stretch.
Back to a 5-point game. Wallace. Over to Harding. Gets the screen, doesn't use it. Wide open lane. He does it again. Darius Harding, his second opportunity at a 3-point play late in this second half.
The foul's on number 10, Rodney Lewis, his second, team's 10. Harding at the line, shooting 1.
What a performance from the graduate senior.
Yeah, such a good game for Harding.
Third leading scorer for Campbellsville this afternoon with 13. Carbon far side. Lewis chucks up a 3. Nothing but nylon.
Pretty.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered for Lindsey Wilson after they gave up the 3-point play to Harding. Wallace to the left. Moves back. Harding. The tagger. It's all Darius Harding.
Yep, somebody needs to guard that man. 73-65, 4.5 minutes to go. Whistle's blown.
Foul away from the ball. Looks like it's on Freed Hardman. Or, excuse me, Campbellsville. Getting my maroon teams
That's all.
mixed up.
There's too many Maroons.
A lot of maroons in the Mid-South Conference. Carbon to the free throw line. Lindsey Wilson in the bonus. Knocks down the first one. Carbon has been solid, 7 for 7 at the charity stripe. Now 8 of 8.
For Lindsey Wilson, number 5, Connor Robinson.
Robinson back into the game for Lindsey Wilson. He has been a really consistent player for the Blue Raiders this afternoon.
Yes, he has. But, I feel like he was just sitting out there for quite some time through that big run. And, maybe he's coming in ready to finish this game out strong.
Really haven't seen him for the majority of that middle of the second half.
Yeah.
Wallace, he's due for a bucket. A legal screen on Tyrell Hunt. Lindsey Wilson gets another 3. They can bring it within a one-possession game. Brown up top to Lewis. Robinson. Near side to Mumford. Baseline. Foul on the floor. It doesn't matter. It's free throws for the Blue Raiders. How about the second half from Jordan Mumford?
Yeah,
he's done a lot of really
great.
nice things.
Doing a little bit of everything for them.
First one off to the right. Mumford with 6 points. This game for Lindsey Wilson. They've really relied on Bryce Brown, and Kenyatta Carbon for the scoring as Mumford's able to go 1 of 2. Harding inbounds into Wallace. Here comes the double team. It's torn away by Lewis.
Ooh,
Behind the back
nice.
pass. More free throws coming up for Lindsey Wilson.
Number 0, Jace Wallace, his 3rd.
And if Brown would have found a way to finish that with the and one, his place would have gone off.
Oh, yeah.
Brown, the leading scorer for the entire game with 21. 8 of 18 from the field. 0 of 5 from downtown. Free throws have been pretty good. 6 of 8. Perfect. One possession game. Wallace.
And Lindsey Wilson's got to get a stop here.
It would move the needle if the Blue Raiders are able to come up with a steal.
Oh,
Harding,
gamble.
wide open 3. Book
That
it.
is not the person you want to leave wide open. He is too confident.
He has been the go-to guy for the Tigers in this second half. Carbon in the lane. Just off the fingertips of the Tigers. Still a lot of time remaining in this game. 3:09.
And with so many, we have 10 fouls, so many fouls that are going to turn into free throws. It's going to be a game down,
So many little things
coming
that
down
can
to free
happen.
throws. Yep.
They have the freshman inbounding it right underneath the basket. Looks inside. Robinson was open for a second. He got it. A foul on Penny. That was a dangerous pass from Carbon.
Capitals foul on number 23, Kobe Penny.
An easy foul for the referee.
Connor Robinson at the line.
Connor Robinson. At the line for Lindsey Wilson. 10 points in the matchup. Lindsey Wilson really relied on Robinson to keep them in the contest for a lot of the first half. That's when a lot of the points came for Connor.
In for Lindsey Wilson, number 10, Rodney Lewis.
Free throw shooting has gotten a lot better for both teams late in this game.
Yeah, both teams they're keeping themselves in it from the free throw line.
Wallace. Across half court, 3 minutes remaining. Double screen, doesn't use it. And he finishes at the rack. It was only a matter of time before Jace Wallace was going to get some kind of bucket late in this one.
For sure. It had been a few minutes too long for him.
Lewis picks up his dribble. Brown posting up. Into the body of Clements. Missed the floater. Offensive rebound, though. Another nice job by Robinson. Lewis is fouled. Carbon looks like he was wide open underneath the basket. He was trying
he
to.
was.
Foul was on number 23.
The fans knew it as well.
That's his fifth.
Wow. Kobe Penny fouling out. That's tough for Campbellsville.
Yeah, Kobe Penny has to head to the bench, and all he can do is hope that he can continue this tournament run in the semifinal.
Definitely. He played a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, final stats on Kobe Penny. 17 points, 6 of 10. A lot of those baskets came in the first half where he was, and nobody could stop him on the Lindsey Wilson side. Lewis able to hang on for the free throw. 2:26 remaining now. Offensive foul.
Wow. That is great defense by Lindsey Wilson. And right back into their territory.
Capitals foul on number 10, Taisha Epps. His second.
Epps just trying to get away. Put an elbow into the defender.
Number 15, Marion Karchak.
So Lindsey Wilson can really make some noise with a bucket here. Robinson in the corner, inside the Brown, twisting, turning, underneath the basket, pump fake, no foul, but it's cleaned up. Burkett was right there for the putback. Brown's on the floor. Oh, it's the last thing you want to see. Star player for the Blue Raiders. Down on the ground being attended to. What a rebound by Burkett, though.
Such a big rebound. I mean, bringing it within 2. This is the closest gap we've had since first half. 2 minutes left.
Since really tip-off, it feels that way. Brown gets to his feet, is able to walk off on his own accord.
The basket was good by number 15, Marion Karchak.
Watch the score table, it seems like he's okay.
Yeah.
Lindsey Wilson takes him out. Needing to give him an opportunity to catch his breath, possibly. Campbellsville, they've hit some shots here in the second half. It's just Lindsey Wilson has been on an absolute tear in the last 5 minutes.
Yep, and now we've got a ball game on our hands with 2 minutes left, and, it can go either way at this point.
Lindsey Wilson was shooting under 40% in the first half. They're now up for the entire game at 48%. That's how good they've been. 2 minutes remaining. Campbellsville up 2. Couldn't have wanted this game any closer. Harding got it to go again.
Harding just playing out of his mind.
Darius Harding, 21 points on 7 of 10 from the field now. This would be his third three-point conversion of the second half.
Of the second half.
Basically, and he's knocked down a couple of threes. He basically's got 5 threes.
Yeah.
Back to a 5-point game. Robinson. They slow it down. Carbon. Burkett, Carbon. Crossover. Around his defender. Dumps it off Robinson. He's hacked. Been so close to the end of this game, it's going to come down to the free throws.
Yep, it is.
Lindsey Wilson, 25 of 33 at the line. Campbellsville, 19 of 22. These teams overall have shot the basketball really well. A big difference is just the three-point shooting. Lindsey Wilson just 3 of 14, while Campbellsville's been able to hit 6.
Yeah. There's a big difference right there.
And you also have the three-point plays
Yep.
from Harding. Foul underneath.
The foul is on number 12, Kenyatta Carbon, his third.
It was called on Carbon. So now free throws at the other end. And they give it up to Jace Wallace, who is a terrific free throw shooter.
James Wallace at the line, shooting 2.
This is the first. 80% of the line is Jace Wallace.
It's not missing many if you're shooting 80%.
That bucket gives them 20 points in the game now. Lewis brings it up. Has it at the left arc. Burkett had Brown inside for a moment. Brown still calling for it. They're trying to get it to him. Robinson. They finally found Brown in the baseline. Oh, somehow he was able to get it to fall. He comes up hobbling, holding his right calf.
I don't know how he made that.
A minute remaining. Clements. Near side to Harding. Great defense from Lewis. 12 on the shot clock. And Brent Vernon wants a timeout. We'll keep it here. 3-point game. Campbellsville up 3. Yeah, how in the world was Brown able to get that one together? I don't even think he was looking at the basket.
Yeah, I don't know how he made that. I think it's just been he's had that touch in the down the stretch in the second half.
Just the feel.
Yeah. He was so cold at the beginning, so he was bound to, pick it up at some point.
Well, they've really relied on him in the second half. He's up to 25 points, 9 of 21 from the field. 7 of 9 at the free throw line. That's really the key, is the free throw shooting has been a lot better for Lindsey Wilson in this second half. Kenyatta Carbon, 8 of 8 at the free throw line. Connor Robinson, 5 of 8. He has 13 points, 5 rebounds. Rebounding numbers are pretty much the same. Everything really has been the same for both sides, except for the three-point shooting.
Yeah, wow. I mean, the stats are pretty much sitting side by side.
Now, Lindsey Wilson has been a little bit more successful in the paint. They have 40 points compared to Campbellsville's 30, but
Campbellsville's hit more threes.
Campbellsville's hit those threes. 43 seconds out of the timeout. Wallace. Huge shot, and he banks it in. Lindsey Wilson's got to hurry. Carbon. Sold away. Wallace. Time's on the floor. Timeout, Campbellsville.
Two huge plays by Campbellsville's Wallace to put them up 5 and with the ball back with 27 seconds.
He gets the bucket on one end, and then the defensive play on the other. Jace Wallace, 22 points, tied for the team high with Darius Harding. Darius Harding has been just a man on the mission, especially in the second half. And Campbellsville is doing this without one of their better players, Kobe Penny, who fouled out with about 5 minutes remaining in the second half. So the clock's at 27.3 seconds. Campbellsville has basketball, no shot clock. So Lindsey Wilson, you got to foul early. It's just, who do you want to foul in this situation? You know, Campbellsville's going to do everything they can to get it into the hands of Wallace.
I mean, you got to foul quick, too, because you're right. You have no shot clock, no fouls to give. You don't get a steal right off, you know, the inbounds pass, you got to foul.
Right now on the floor for Campbellsville is Hurt. Epps is inbounding it. Clements, Harding, and Wallace. They're all lined up for the inbound play. They got to get away from Lindsey Wilson. Blue Raiders need a steal. Epps, floater plastic, Clements. They have the trap. He lost it.
Oh.
In the corner.
Oh my God.
It's the hands of Harding. Hunt is fouled going up for the layup. Almost a technical call on the Campbellsville bench. They're trying to keep him off the court.
Foul is on number 15,
That was really unfortunate for Lindsey Wilson. And then there was a technical on the Blue Raiders. Hunt hits the first one, and you get the feeling that's it.
Yeah. I mean, Campbellsville gets the ball back. Probably going to have to foul real quick again. And
it was 2 for 2. What a moment for the Campbellsville Tigers. Another timeout, we'll take a break. And we'll be right back for the final seconds of this one. It's the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network. Well, 13.5 seconds remaining. Campbellsville is up 7. It looks like they're going to find a way to get our first upset of the entire tournament. Just 13.5 seconds. Tigers inbounding. Floater pass to Hunt. In the corner to Wallace. Up top to Harding, and Lindsey Wilson just lets him dribble it out.
Yeah, Lindsey Wilson, made a really good run in the second half, but that first half hurt him.
The Campbellsville Tigers pulled off the upset against Lindsey Wilson, 86-79. Unbelievable performances from Chase Wallace and Darius Harding. Each of them had 22 points. Kobe Penny, who fouled out, he still had 17. And really, right from the jump, it was the Tigers' game to lose.
Yeah, it was a great game by the Tigers. I mean, they came out ready to play, and they executed.
They were perfect. As for Lindsey Wilson, they're headed home. Bryce Brown was really good in the second half, just couldn't figure it out in the first. Finished with 25 points. The freshman of the year, Kiana Carbon, who it's going to be a lot of fun to see him in this tournament next year, and for the years after that, he had 16 points. 8 of 8 at the free throw line. Lindsey Wilson, they had a really nice effort in the second half, but they just got down a little too much, and there was no chance for them to pull off the upset with how well Campbellsville played today. So the player of the game is being announced for Campbellsville.
From Campbellsville University, Chase Wallace.
Chase Wallace, the head honcho for the Tigers, was named the player of the game.
Yeah, he played stellar. I mean, that easily could have gone to him or Harding, though. They both played so well.
Yeah, there was a point in the second half where it was all Harding. He had a lot of big buckets. Could have gone to either one of them. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for our second game of the triple-header of the men's tournament. It's been the Mid-South Conference Tournament on the Mid-South Conference Sports Network.